Hi everybody, this is Anthony from Sunny Creates. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to continue with week 14 of our A to Z times 2 series. Remember, this is the one that is running on my YouTube channel, and you can find more details on my Facebook group, Sunny Creates Junk Journals. Okay, so we are going to be doing napkins today, and I haven't played around with this technique, but if it is a success, you're going to see the video, and if it's not, then you're not going to see the video, and I'm going to move on to something more traditional, if I could say that, using my napkins. So let's see if this works. What I want to do is I want to create my own napkins, if that even makes sense, to use in my junk journals. And then I want to see if I can use some kind of paint. I've got watercolors out, but I'm not sure whether that's going to work. If that doesn't work, maybe Cokies, or maybe I might even use some acrylic paints on it. Yeah, but let's see. It's really about experimenting and just trying something that's a bit new to me. So it might be out there, but I haven't seen it. You know, we can't get to watch every video out there. So yeah, if you've tried anything similar, then and it was successful, give me a shout. Put it down in the comments below the video. We'd love to see new techniques coming around, simply because it allows us to expand on our creations in terms of the supplies that we have. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's try napkins. Now, napkins in South Africa are not called napkins. They're actually called serviettes. But I'm sure whatever they are called, whether they are called paper napkins or whether they are called serviettes, once you see it, you know what I'm talking about. So normally you will get something that looks like this, and so that's the serviette. It's very pretty, by the way. I like it. And then you normally get either 2 to 3 layers of the serviette here. So I am going to pull this apart here and see how successful I am. Yep, I'm successful. I just want to see whether I'm in frame. Yep, I'm in frame. Okay, so I'm just pulling this napkin only has, or serviette only has 2 layers. Sometimes I think it might even be the more expensive one that might have more than 1 layer. I mean, more than 2 layers. And yeah, so just pulling this apart here. Now look how gorgeous is that, guy, ladies and gents. Look at that. I'm not sure whether that pattern, I mean, the transfer of the pattern is showing on the screen. So I'm going to keep this layer aside because I will be using it. All right. Just put it out there. But I don't know if you can see this, but it is oh so pretty. So pretty. Look at that. Okay, that alone on its own is gorgeous. So yeah, I think I might even start using some of this in my Bustling Bees Junk Journal kit. I've got my Tim Holtz board out today, and the reason is that as I mentioned to you on my Bustling Bees kit, I want to do a bit of grunge work, and yeah, so I can wipe it off more easily here. So forgive me if there's any light showing, you know, because it's glass. So I'm gonna try to do that, and let's see if it works. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to add some stamping, and I think I'm going to use some archival ink. So I'm going to do a small patch just to show you whether the technique works or not. Okay, so I'm going to try using this to make my own napkins for my Bee Junk Journal. Nevertheless, so let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to use this background stamp over here on this side, and so I think I'm going to play on this quadrant here. Okay, so let's play on that quadrant there and see whether we get what I'm hoping we get. Maybe I'll spread it out a bit. I'm not sure. I'll see. So I'm using black soot because that's the black I have in archival ink. So I'm just gonna like stamp randomly. And I'm stamping lightly. Okay, and then I'm just stamping off here to the side. You might see it, you might not see it, I'm not sure. And then I'm going to start playing with my bee kit over here. So let's see, I'm going to be using this here, and that the definitely my bee. I wonder where that one is. I used it the other day, but I have no idea where I put it. Easier. There, that's sad. I really wanted to use that one. I have no idea where I left it. Okay, anyway, not gonna hold up the video because of that, but now I'm going to have to look for where it is. Right, so let's start with my little bee. Here, and I'm going to stamp it here. Move that out so it doesn't create much sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, the light doesn't transfer. Reflection. Oh, that is so pretty. Every time I look at this bee, I love it. Now these I'm stamping a bit darker, as you can see, and then I go and misstamp over there. Okay, I probably might come back to that one, I'm not sure, but while I am busy stamping, I just want to say I went into my Facebook page today, and I welcomed some of my new members on my Facebook group, Sunny Creates Junk Journals, and I am truly amazed by the amount of people on my Facebook group that have joined in the last month or so. And not only am I truly amazed, okay, I am truly grateful. I'm truly grateful for you joining my Facebook group. And I want to apologize because I'm not the most active person on Facebook in general. And then also I don't always have time to to see whether I should put another one here. Yeah, I'm going to, because it's not necessary that you're going to use it in one go as one in a piece of napkin. So let's do that. May seem, when it's all together, it may seem weird, but maybe it will work if you use parts of it. Okay, so I'm only going to do 2 of that and stamp it out here. Yeah, so I'm truly grateful that people are requesting to join and commenting and purchasing my kits and just interacting with me, and love that. And leave alone Facebook. Oh dear, I wanted to say on the on my videos. Wow, ladies, gents, thank you for your comments. In fact, I'm so embarrassed to say that I am behind in in answering the shucks, that's stupid of me, in answering the comments. So please forgive me. I will get to it. Now let's see. Well, I tried to salvage it. Didn't do it such a good job, but it's okay. We'll make it work, right? Remember what I say. Embrace your mistakes. And that's the fun part about junk journaling. You have that permission to embrace your mistakes. Okay, so that one didn't stamp as nicely as I hoped it would. I don't think I'm going to use this one. Might use that one there. I think I'm going to go back with the bees. Yes, so I don't even have one. Not even one bee napkin. No, nothing. It's very, very difficult to find napkins where I live. I'm not going to say in South Africa because people might be finding it in South Africa. Okay, but where I live at a reasonable price. It's crazy. It's crazy at how expensive they are here. And I mean, I haven't seen any with bees on it, but then maybe I just didn't look. Okay, so how cute is that? I love it. I love it. Even if my technique doesn't work when I'm trying to experiment with, I'm going to go back and definitely create just a napkin like this with these here. So, you know, half of my video is a success because here I'm telling you, ladies, I really don't. I don't have any bee napkins. And here you go. You got a stamp set and it's going to work for you. So, success already. But this is nothing new, right? You know this. Yeah. So let's see now if what I really wanted to do is going to work. What I'm going to do now is I am going to try to do a few different techniques here. No, I'm not. No, don't think it's gonna work. So let's try and put some Mod Podge on it. So the Mod Podge is not the difficult part, she says, and then she'll have problems with it. So I'm being very, very, very careful. Very, very careful. And I might even switch brushes because that one seems to pull a bit. Let's see if this one is going to work better. And yeah, it's so much better. You need a brush with a very like flexible bristles. Bristles are flexible, but this one is more. And you did notice that I used archival ink, right? Okay, so I'm concentrating mainly on those ones that I want to color in. So like I might leave some out and then just Mod Podge those ones that I might want to just add some color to. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm doing it so randomly, that's the reason. Okay, just trying to get to those ones that I want to color. And I'm hoping by putting some Mod Podge on them that I'm going to seal the napkin so that when I use the color on it, it doesn't bleed. Okay, but in saying so that, I'm hoping that this is not Mod Podge. This is the acrylic gel medium. All right, so I'm hoping that it's gonna work, right? As I mentioned, it's the first time I'm trying it out. So I'm going to put that in there and that in there, and let's take that out. And sorry for stretching. Do apologize. We're going to use that. But before we use that, let's try and dry this a bit. Okay, so I'm going to dry this and get back to you, okay? Okay, so I am done drying this over here. So now we're going to see whether this works. But I just want to bring your attention. I don't know if you can see there's like brown around some of the places where I added the Mod Podge. Now, well, if that works, it's going to be a happy accident because it just led me to think about another technique that I can use. Now, let me tell you what happens over there. Just moving these out because I want to use this board here. This here, that's one of the reasons why I got my Tim holes out as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here is that just give me. All right, so I had filmed the entire video, and when I went back, I realized that well, I thought I filmed the entire video, but clearly I didn't. So let me see if I can piece this together for you so it makes some sense. So what I did is that after I dried it with the heat gun, what I did is I took acrylic paint, okay, and then I not acrylic, I lie, this is watercolor, but in retrospect maybe I should have used acrylic paint, because if I am going to use this in anything else, and if I have to put anything wet on top of it, it is probably going to smear. Okay, but I was kind of fine with that, simply because it's just going to add color to the rest of it. So if you don't want your color to move around, then definitely use acrylic paint. And then all I did was, if you're using watercolor, I found that my watercolor brushes that I was taking already had water in the barrel, so it made it too weak, you know, liquid, in order to be able to work on the napkin. So all I did is I took a stylus or whatever, and then I opened the watercolor, and then I just, this is gouache or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, and then I just used the stylus to color it in. If you got a thicker brush, thinner brush, or a more precision brush, then you can do so. Right, so that's what I did there. Now you'll see that I've got a little bit more going on that side, and on this side as well, and I'm going to tell you what led me to do this. This was my initial technique, and I did not think about that. But nevertheless, as I was working with this, now what happens is that I use this mat, and I had like, I think some maybe vintage photo distress ink or whatever the case may be, I had on this mat, which I didn't clean it out. So when I was working on this, when I started drying it, I saw some brown around here. Okay, brown here and there and stuff like that, which meant that whatever the residue of the distress inks or the distress oxides may have then transferred onto the napkin when I started using my acrylic gel medium. So then that's when I decided, okay, what I'm going to do then is I am going to spritz. So what I did here is I stamped again, but this time, instead of concentrating only on those that I knew that I was going to color in, I decided that I am going to put acrylic gel medium on the entire napkin, and then I allowed it to dry. And then I took my distress oxides one at a time. Started with black soot. In retrospect, I don't think I'll use black soot because it just overpowers everything over here. So I took black soot, and then I just dabbed it over here and really sprayed a little bit. And the black soot, I used my hand and I did that, which caused bigger drops, and as you can see, there's the bigger drops over here. Then I learned my lesson over there, and then I used, I think it was distress oxide in vintage photo, just added a little, spritzed a little, and I think I still did that, and I got bigger drops here. And then I went in with my wild honey, but this time when I squeezed it, placed it on here, I just spritzed the water, but I did not create any more drops. I just put the napkin onto it, and then I use fossilized amber. So this is quite a overpowering effect. And then I went in with my watercolors and I started painting it. Okay, so yeah, so this I realized was quite an overpowering technique here. Maybe if you use like tea dye oxide or tea dye what's the word, tea dye distress ink or whatever, the much lighter colors, maybe it would have looked better. So then I decided, okay, why not then try coffee dye, just coffee, and do the same technique, but this time with coffee. So what I did here is I just stamped it, but I did not add the coffee as yet. And that's when I realized, well, guess what? The video stopped at a certain point in time, and I didn't realize it. So now I'm going to do this area over here where I stamped it. I did not use acrylic gel medium. I'm just going to use my coffee dye there, my coffee, and I'm going to spritz the mat. So you'll see how I kind of did this technique here, if you can understand then. But before I do that, so this is what this is looking like now, where I use the watercolors to color in my napkin. And as I mentioned, you can do it with the acrylic paint. And yeah, so I think it works in terms of the technique. I think it really does work. And this is just one way of creating your own napkins that are going to lend itself to the kit. So I'm very, very happy with this. As I mentioned, in retrospect, I should have used acrylic paints so that when I place this onto like a tag or whatever, it's not going to bleed any further. Okay, so on this here now, I am going to do the coffee staining, and let's see how that turns out. So all in all, I'm quite happy with the technique. I think I achieved what I set out to achieve, in the sense that I wanted to find a way of making personalized napkins that were going to go with the rest of my my journal. Just putting these away here quickly. Yeah, you know, that will work with the stamps that I have and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy that I think that this is a win project, and I definitely will be doing it, you know, making more of this, and let's see how this works out. So if I have time, so you can see I'm just spritzing a little bit here. Now I am probably going to, before that, I'm probably going to wipe this out. Yeah, in retrospect now, because that went everywhere. So I'm probably going to wipe that out. I'm probably going to, before I add that coffee stain to it, let's just cut this napkin now, because we've got quite a few techniques on this at the moment. You can also use your archivals to do this effect here, because then it's not going to run when you add any gel medium or anything to it. I don't have archivals in so many colors, so and I'm talking about archival inks. So for me, I just use that thing, right? So let's try that now. Let's try using coffee on that one there now, and let's see what we get. Where's my coffee? Here's my coffee. And all I'm going to do now is place the napkin on it. Like that. And then I'm going to dry it, because you can't really see the effect here. And let's see what we get. What I want to show you here is that, let's clean up the mess here. Not the mess, the extra coffee. So now the napkin is half dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to wipe at the bottom here to get rid of all the moisture, and I'm going to completely dry it now. Okay, so I did dry it, but I feel we can add a little bit more coffee. So maybe let's just add it this way now. And let's dry again. Okay, so that's dry now, and wow, I think that looks pretty awesome. Yes, so now I'm thinking, I just didn't dry it there, but let's see what we can do here now. Let's see if we can create something quickly with this. I'm trying to find my box. Let's pull out a card. Here. Let's add that to it. Here, like that. Okay, I think, ooh, is this card even straight? Hmm? Eight something. 8.2 centimeters. Yeah, it just looks very crooked to me. Okay, so now I'm going to do that. Yeah. And let's add it straight to this here, and let's see what we're gonna get. gonna add this part over here to it. I like it. Yeah. Can you see how it's already warping? Okay, I'm going to just add that there. Now this is packaging, ladies. This is packaging, so I can't tell you how many GSM it is because I'll be lying. And I'm gonna now go in and just dry this out, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so I am back. I dried that out here. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to just cut it, cut around it. So in a way, the video was cut short, so I managed to be able to show you a journal card that we're going to be making, which will go into our Bustling Bees kit. Just want to maybe complete this card with you, and then show you that technique quickly of what's the word, adding this color, adding this to the kit. So just taking some here, and I'm just adding it. Now you see, when you do it this way, yeah, it works, but I feel that it works so much better when you do it on the napkin. Let's add some water to this here. Let's see if we can use it on the side here. So yeah, you can do this as well. Nothing stops you from doing it this way. So now you saw how I colored in the and here. Like that. Okay, I want to see what we get. How cute is that? I think that's cute. I want to see what we get if we work with it after we've crunched it. After we've, just hope I can get a card, another card to work with. That's white on both sides. Yeah, I have no idea what packaging this is. I can't say. Let's try using this one here. Let's see how this is gonna fare. We might have to change our technique a bit, but I want to play with it. This video is very much about playing around. So let's see. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to go for that day. Right, so let's take this again. Here. I wonder. probably because this brush is wet. I'm putting it into water all the time. So let's see now what we're going to get by doing this. I said I want this one here, so this part here. Managed to do that. Now let's see. Let's have something that's flowing, meaning that, oh, cool. I'm using quite a bit, but I'm trying to keep the strokes very light so that there is minimum bleed. And it's working. It's working. I wonder whether it's working because it's, I mean, no, but gosh, okay, so it did bleed a bit there because now it's getting very wet. So let's try and thing this off. Let's try and dry this out and let's see what we get. Okay, so I'm back, and now that's that part there. Oh, you see, I forgot to do that on that side. You see, I'm using the scissors incorrectly and wondering why I'm finding difficulty cutting with it today. I like it. I like it. Yes, so depending on the look you're going for, what you want. Yes, so that's how that's looking, and I'm thinking maybe we can grunge this up a bit. Let's take our distress ink here, and yeah, it's holding. So if you're wondering whether it's holding, it is. Okay, so I am back, and maybe not that color there, maybe orange. Let's try orange. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close that, put that away, get some order in here, lady, and clean that later. Add some of this here. No, I was right. I did want some vintage for distress ink. Okay, so let's do this on the back of the card. Great stuff, like that. Quite a bit. And then, was it this one here? Yes, I wanted to add some vintage photo on that. Change it up a bit. Right, so that's done. So what did we do today? Oh, there's just one thing more I want to add, and this is it. This is it. Yeah, so because my video is half-baked, I'm not sure whether I said this, so I'm going to say it again. If you like the content of this video and you would like to see more creations from me, then please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And also, if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help me a lot. I am quite a new YouTuber, so I need your help. So if you are willing to give it a thumbs up. I know sometimes you're watching it on your TV or whatever, and it's a little bit more buttons to click and move around. So I do understand that, but I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you are notified every time I post a video. If you are going to be following along either with your own bee kit, or if you're looking for a junk journal kit, maybe consider looking at my other videos, and because I do have a junk journal kit that I'm going to be working with over here, which is the Bustling Bee one. So have a look at that, and maybe it'll take your fancy. It is in my Etsy shop, and I will place a link to it below. So yeah, and then also, if you're not yet part of our Facebook group, please consider joining it. It is Sunny Creates Junk Journals, and although I'm not extremely active on the group, I do try and post freebies, etc. There are some freebies for the junk journal kit that we are going to be working on, and I just posted this morning some freebies in terms of some background pages that we will be using in our bee journal. So yeah, pop on over, request to join, and you can download the freebies. That's not the only freebies that are there. There's many others as well. Right, so I probably will decorate this a little bit more, but now the video is becoming a bit too long. So what do we have? Let's talk about what we have. So today we were working with napkins, and in our attempt to work with napkins, we've done our own napkin here, okay? And we've taken the white off the napkins, the normal shop napkins or paper napkins or serviettes, and then we stamped on it, and we created different techniques. We used different techniques. So that's the one technique that we used. We stamped. We then put some gel acrylic medium on it, on the areas we were going to add paint to, and then we dried the gel acrylic medium. We painted with watercolor paints. You can use acrylic as well, and then we let it dry, okay? And in doing that, we made that tag with it, and you can see it doesn't really run too much, but yeah, you can do that. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Then we used this technique here, where all we did was we stamped on it, and we added coffee onto it to make it a little bit more grungy. And we then added that serviette onto the tag with gel acrylic medium, and we then watercolored, painted using watercolors onto the tag over there, so there's no bleeding on that one there. Okay, and then the other technique we did, which we didn't yet create any napkin, is this one here. And what we did here is we stamped, we covered it with gel acrylic medium. We then used our distress oxides, and we placed them down and squished them and added some water to it, and we created the background. And then we went in and we colored with the acrylic watercolor paints over here. All right, but I haven't yet created a tag with this one. It is a bit overpowering, so maybe the next time I try this technique, I am not going to use such bright colors. I probably will use something very light like tea dye or antique linen or something like that, and be able to create that. And the last thing we did is we created a merry mess over here. So ladies and gents, thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. I do apologize that the video did get cut at a specific point. I was totally unaware of it. So if the video seems a little bit, you know, here and there, and it doesn't add up, I tried to tell you what we did, and I tried to show it to you, you know, some techniques again, but obviously I didn't do this technique again, but I tried describing it to you. And I hope that you like it. I hope that you go and play around as well. You probably will have different stamps that you are going to be using in your bee junk journal, and you can make it. You can make it so that it becomes personalized in terms of the napkin that you are using. Take care. I hope you have an awesome day. Have a blessed day, and thank you so much. Love to all from Santhony at Sunny Creates. Bye bye everybody.